Hi, guys. Happy Friday and welcome to today's co creation session. I am excited that it's Friday, it's the beginning of the weekend, and it's getting very hot out here in California. But I am also excited. This is day 7 of these co-creation sessions. I thought about doing this because I wanted to really connect with a lot of the insurance agency owners. Most people usually start just as agents, but I think in order for us to succeed when it comes to selling insurance, is to think as agency owners, not just agents. And to think as an agency owner, then you have to put on a business hat. And to put on a business hat requires that we think about how we're building our businesses, and so that we don't work in the business, we work on the business. And to make that happen, we need systems. And so this is why I built the never miss revenue system, because I want to make sure that I don't miss any revenue that is a potential revenue that's out there when I'm starting to engage somebody, and they're showing some curiosity with regards to optimizing their wealth in one way or another. I want to make sure that I can do that for them, and so the best way is to give them an ecstatic experience that they get wowed to the point of like, okay, definitely, I'm willing to listen to you when it comes to, optimizing my wealth and my money. So but that requires a lot of things in the back end to make that happen, so that your profile, or the way people see you, show they see you as somebody who's credible and who knows what they're talking about and what they're doing. And this is why the never miss revenue system essentially is intended to optimize a lot of that, so that you can really focus on what you were intended to do, which is know the products and be able to engage and design cases for these prospects that optimize their wealth. Those are the pieces. The rest of these things, which is the marketing side, and making sure that you get on a call with them and nurturing them, introducing all these potential like possibilities in terms of like the financial products, those are things we can actually automate. And that's the beauty of why, when there's AI and there's also many different systems that you can do this, you can do this in as quickly as 8 weeks. That's what I've brought it down to. You can actually build your full system in 8 weeks. And 8 weeks meaning it's a full functioning system that essentially allows you to really sit and do your job best, which is, you know, engage the people, generate leads, and close them. Pretty much. And the reason why I'm making it 8 weeks and not like, oh, yeah, you can do it overnight, you can do it on a weekend, you can do it in the morning, to be realistic, because I've been building my own, it does take some time. It's not as straightforward as it sounds. And so let me show you as an example, like the what I've built, right? So the system that I built, just so that you have an understanding as to why I I came to that conclusion of, you know needing about, that much time to have the system in place. So let me show you the system that I built. Let me do here the presentation mode. Okay, so where am I? Here we go. Okay, I'm sharing my screen so you can see my screen, right? So the never miss revenue system is intended to attract high intent client from the word go. Yes, some people are curious, some people are window shoppers, some people are just like, what is this? Where is this? And the traditional way of selling insurance is door knocking, and you going and driving by and hoping that they listen to you, or cold calling, and getting hung up on and all that, and then eventually somehow one person will say yes to you, right? Now what I have designed is this never miss revenue system in a way that actually allows you to have that experience with a potential client, the time they discover you, into the time when they decide, okay, I need this for myself. You are really giving them all the things that they need, and they're just like, wow, this is amazing. I don't need to have to get up and go to a bank and knock and find an insurance agent, and they come to my house, and you're essentially kind of giving it to them, right? So my never miss revenue system is, I've divided into 7 different engines, and I'm calling them engines because they have their own essentially life to themselves. I've got the attract engine, the capture engine, the pre-sale engine, the booking engine, the show up engine, the close engine, and the scale engine. I might change the names eventually and use something more like playful or whatever, more interactive. But I just wanted to bring it home and be like, this is what essentially is intended to do. So the attract engine is essentially supposed to generate demand. So think of like, and in the digital space, you can use organic content and or run ads to generate demand, right? So you put yourself out there, you put in content out there, and people will essentially be like, wow, this is interesting, I need to learn more. Right? When they decide that they're now curious, that curiosity will move them from the attract engine to the capture engine. In the capture engine is where you start conversation. You're essentially automating those conversations whereby you do not have to actually pick up the phone and speak to everybody. Your system will be built in a way that whether you're asleep, whether you're in a different time zone, whether you're sick, whether you're off, it's a weekend, or you've gone to your child birthday party, if somebody is curious enough, they start getting in, your system starts engaging them, right? So you capture their interest and you start those conversations right there. And then that capture engine sends them to the pre-sale engine. The pre-sale engine essentially is where you start to create intent. You really start to have them realize, wow, I need this. How do you do this? By share give them this set of 3 videos that you will create, and they achieve different objectives. The first video is the one that will be talking about the bigger picture of the financial world, how there's so many different wealth tools that you can leverage to achieve your goals, and that will give them this aha moment, like, wow, I didn't even know these things apply to me, or I could even access them, you know. And then the next video is where you're giving them a case study. That case study brings it home because it allows them to see a potential client, maybe one of your clients that you've closed, that you have on your, one of your existing clients. You show them real numbers, you show them a real policy, you show them like the whole real scenario, so they can like now make it becomes tangible. Then the third video is where you're actually trying now to help them do this themselves. They do their own like self audit themselves. So you're kind of giving them, things to kind of look at, to consider, so they can start to pull all their financial details and kind of bring them together, right? By the end of these 3 videos, they should be saying, hey, I need to speak to you about my situation. You need to kind of pull this together for me so that I can understand it better. I have pulled all my retirement accounts, all my investments, all my loans, all my, I don't know, everything, my inheritance. I need you to pull these things together for me. So that book, then this pre-sale engine moves them to the booking engine. The booking engine is where now they're booking themselves onto your calendar. You're not going and knocking on doors like, can I call you back tomorrow at 8 a.m. and or can I pass by tomorrow at 6 p.m. when you get out of work? No. You already have an existing calendar. You decide, okay, I'm gonna be taking calls Mondays and Wednesdays, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Or I'm gonna do every day from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Doesn't matter what, however you choose, you set that calendar, and that prospect books themselves on your calendar. So that will also show you if somebody's going to book themselves on your calendar, they're high intent, right? They really want this thing. And then, but you don't want to leave it there. That booking engine will work side by side with the show up engine. The show up engine is where you nurture them, right? So you're going to be increasing their propensity to actually attend that call that they've booked. So you nurture them through SMS or and email, by giving them more value, helping them kind of think about different scenarios in lead up to the strategy call, and even beyond that. Okay. And then from there, you go into the close engine. The close engine is where you convert this prospect into clients. You're converting them by making sure now your real technical experience as an agent or as a financial advisor comes into play. You are designing that case in a way that is that works for their for their life situation, so that you can optimize their wealth. So the case design comes in here. Obviously, you have to be handling objections, but ideally, the all the engines prior should also have been handling a lot of the objections, but there'll still be some objections in the close phase. So you're having your sales calls, you're doing your, shopping around for different products, and you're putting together a case for them that you can then present to them. Like you design that, and you can, give them like a strategy. This is how, based on the information that they have, this is what you can create for them. With that, then you still kind of work through everything until you can actually get them the products that they need. So that's the close engine. And then at the end is the scale engine. The scale engine is the one that takes everything that's gone on in your the whole system, and you look at those numbers and the metrics, and see those insights in terms of like what's really working for your business and for your clients, what's making your clients show up more and actually close, versus what is actually something that's a time waster. And that helps you to refine your system, switch up a few levers. So if, let's say, maybe the ads are working better than the organic content, then you double down on the ads. If maybe the videos are really the one that are nailing it, maybe add a few more variations of the video so that you can talk to different audiences. And if the maybe the show up allows you to address objectives up front and people are more satisfied that way, then you increase those and add more scenarios in there. So that scale gives you the analytics to be like, okay, this is my business, this is how it's set up, this is how it's performing. What do I need to change if I want to achieve a better target? So let's say right now, if you say the first focus is maybe $5,000 a month, right, in revenue for my agency. Then if I want to switch it up and I scale it to 10,000 or $30,000 a month, there's a few levers that I will need to adjust. The system will be similar. It's just the levers that I need to tweak will be different, right? So I may have to increase the volume that comes from the attract engine so that we can get more revenue to the end. It could be as straightforward as that, or it could be a combination of a few of these other engines that we have to kind of tweak. But nonetheless, the system remains the same. So my goal here is to kind of show you how this works. And the cherry on top is you also get your AI team. Okay, so we want to make sure that we are really trying to simplify this as much as possible. And there's no better way than to actually have AI agents that are actually working in the background in your business, so you don't have to really hire people that you have now to teach your business to, and sometimes they don't understand or they're not motivated. These AI agents, once you train them on your business, who you're targeting, what's your revenue target, what's your market profiles, all of those things, they should be able to kind of help you, and they work in tandem, so hand in hand, so one hands over to the next as the prospect goes through the experience. These agents are behind the scenes kind of handing over to the next one. And so this is what will help you. So what I do here in the sprints is to build this never miss revenue system. And because we've got 7 engines, we're going to be working on one engine per week. So it will be a weekly sprint. So week 1, we work on the attract engine for 5 days, Monday through Friday. We meet every day like this when we're working on setting up whatever needs to be set, refining, testing, and so forth, making sure it's there. Week 2, we work on the capture engine and we make sure that the automations are in place. We review different variations, we test it, we connect to the attract engine, and we start kind of seeing how those leads are navigating that. Week 3, we go into the pre-sale, we curate the videos, we publish them, we put them in the right placements, right, on maybe in our social media or in our ads, or right after that, so that they can start to consume that upfront and get pre-sold, so that you can start testing for those high intent clients versus window shoppers. And so then week 4, we go into the booking engine, where now you're setting up your calendar, you're making sure that you understand how that works, the different versions you have, and we put that in place. And then now you're testing the whole funnel all the way there. Week 5, we start nurturing. We work on the show up, the nurture, which is the SMS and the email marketing campaigns, where we build those and we have them ready to go. And then the journey, so once the clients are coming through, then they start receiving that information. Week 6 is where now you start doing the close. You're starting to work on your sales, your case designs. You work on, addressing any remaining objections and prepping for those calls. And we can start recording live calls. We can hear how those conversations are going, and we can nitpick the details, so we can build the confidence to, be able to navigate a sales call with confidence, and being able to know that we've got the skills, but also have the system behind to support us. And then the scale is where now we're really looking at the different metrics. What are the key metrics that we need to make sure that our businesses are, healthy, and they're working, and they're tangible, and they're giving us the results that we're looking for in terms of revenue, in terms of the clientele, and all of that, right? That is something that you build dashboards. You can see how all the numbers are coming through, and you're able to be an informed agency owner, an informed business owner. And all along, for each week, we will be setting up that AI agent as well, that will be, prompting it and training it into your own data, so that you can have it ready to go for you from the day one. So that's why each engine will need 5 days, because yes, we're building the systems, but we'll also have to launch that AI agent to support everything that you have defined for you, for that your engine. And then they will be trained on that content. So we will be defining your engine, and then we train the AI agent on that, in your engine, the way it is, so that then they can start taking over from there. Okay, so that's why I'm super excited. Really, like, we're going to be doing this weekly sprint. So I'm going to open up a classroom for the weekly sprints, regardless of when you join. You may join when we're starting at the attract sprint, and that'll be amazing. Just join and let's go. But if you come mid system, and we're maybe at the show up engine, you can join from there, because and then we just continue, because we will loop back, and you will be able to start again. So every 8 weeks we'll be starting all over, because this is going to take us about 8 weeks to set up the whole thing. So 7 weeks for 1 week for each engine, and the last week is just really testing your funnel, that the system you've built in that moment, and ensure that we're getting numbers now, see what we need to change. So whether you are an existing insurance or agency owner that's already gone through one round of this, or you can go to another round and refine what you already have built. Or if you're brand new, that you just joined this community, you can start from the replays that we have for each of the engines, or just join us where we are at, and then it will loop around. Okay, so I hope this is going to be a very interesting experiment that we're going to have this year. I'm super excited to learn from one another. I'm going to share as much as I know, so that I can also help you to build your own agency in a way that, attracts the right clients, which are the high intent clients that are ready to buy, and making sure that you don't have to hire a huge team to be able to run your insurance agency. You can be able to do this with a team of one, or maybe a team of maximum maybe 3 people. You don't need that many people really to run your agency when you have all these systems working for you. If anything, your main team is your AI revenue team. They'll be the ones kind of hustling behind the scenes to get things coming through. So I'm really super excited to see how this comes together. So we will be having the sessions every day, Monday through Friday, from 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern time. So for the other times, Mountain time and Central time, you can find your way in there. But it's, that will be the time, and it'll be going for a 2 hour session. So join us, so that we can work together to build something that is meaningful for our businesses as we're launching our insurance agency. So I'm really excited to see you, get this in place. And I want us to be operators in this. We're not going to be just watching and just looking. We want to operate our businesses, and I want to have that energy. That's the energy I want to have in this community, where we're all operators, we're all building different systems. I don't want this to be overwhelming. And so if it's at any moment you feel overwhelmed by it, please raise your hand. Please add your comment. Please message me because I'm happy to simplify it even further down because there's different things I can do to help you even set up your very first one without even having to go and build your own videos and do that. You can do, I can help you to do it in a way that is much simpler than just you having to feel overwhelmed. Because that's the last thing that I want to do. I don't want to overwhelm anybody here, but I want to be realistic and be like, if you see businesses that are running out there and they're making millions and whatever, this is why. This is why. They can say, oh, yeah, I've been in operation for 10, 15, 20 years. Okay, sure. Time also adds up. But without a system, tell me more. What are they doing? No, it's not going to work that way. You need a system to actually leapfrog where a lot of these companies are and just take it over from there because there are a lot of people that need these services, right? And so you want to be positioned to service them, and the best way to service them is not so you're running around, you're confused, like in one moment you've got a client calling you back being like, "Hey, what's the status of my application?" Another one is calling you back saying, "Hey, what is this thing about? Why are you calling me? Like, I didn't even ask for." Now you're dealing with so many different conversations, they're crisscrossing all over the place, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I need to talk to the insurance, agent somewhere to review the applications. I need to post content. I need to. Then you're like, what's going on? It just becomes overwhelming very quickly. But if you've got systems in place, then you know that for your focus is on just a few of these places that actually move the needle. Closing the agent, closing the client, right? So which means you have to make sure that you're designing the cases in a way that is just foolproof for them, that they're actually wowed and they want to work with you for sure and for the long term. And then also make sure that you're generating that demand. To me, that's the main pieces that where your value is the highest. The rest here, this part, this is more admin stuff, like the calling, door knocking, whatever. That's admin stuff, and we can automate that, and we can still have that still operating in the background. But you focus on the things that actually bring you the most return on your effort and investment. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of what um, I wanted to show you today. I'm really excited about how it will come up. It will be looking, uh, come next week when we start the sprint. I'll open a classroom, and I will be opening a section for each week. So you'll probably only see the sprint, the week one folder in that classroom because I just want us to be focused. And then for the week two, I will open the next folder like that and so forth. So it depends on when you join, you may find all the folders available, or you may only see a handful of the folders in there. While if we're still, in the beginning of building the whole thing out. So super excited to have everybody be part of this. Please put your questions in the comments if there's something that is a concern to you, something that you would like help with. I don't want this to be another classroom where I'm teaching, because my goal here is not to teach. My goal here is to co-create. I'm sure there are other agency owners who've also tried different things, and they're perhaps maybe able to teach us one thing or two in terms of like what has worked for them. And we're here to learn from one another. Okay, so that's why for me, I'll share how I'm building my business. But if there's something that I'm doing where you can be like, hey, Singapore girl, have you thought about doing this instead? Have you thought about, why not? I'm open to it. That's the beauty of doing this. I'm really open to kind of trying different things. So for now, I'm gonna let's start with this never miss revenue system. But if you've got something else, let's co-create together, right? So I hope to see you guys in these sprints, the co-creation sprints, and let's see how everything kind of comes together. So enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you at the next one.